Your hands are the prettiest, the precious, and the most energetic part of your body. And when you bring them close to each other, the nerves get activated, the blood starts running all throughout your body, supplying lots of energy, lots of oxygen to your entire self, and you feel fresh, refreshed, and willing to participate in this meeting. So we'll clap out very, very loud. Come on, please. Yes. See that jing, 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 jing thing going on? So what I said was absolutely true. Before we start the meeting, certain ground rules needs to be followed. Rule number one is, in this room, in this meeting, no one shall indulge in SRP, that is, speaking anything on sex, religion and politics. Rule number two is, there shall be, a request it is, there shall be no cross-talking amongst the audience. Rule number three, when the role player comes up to the dais, it is the responsibility of the audience to applaud his effort and going back to his place from the stage. This makes the role player feel wanted and he feels like a star. And I think you will give that recognition. Rule number four, correct? Three, I'm in order. Rule number four is, you will be given at the end of the meeting a link to do the voting for different categories. We have finished with the rule. Now a little about Toastmasters. Toastmasters is a non-profit making organization established in United States of America with its presence spread over 143 countries. It has 16,000 clubs all over the world. This huge mammoth organization is Toastmasters. And SoBo Toastmaster is one such lovely tasty fruit of this mammoth organization. So a big hand to all the Toastmasters of SoBo Toastmasters. Now we have a very interesting person. Before that, see the most important thing, I forgot to welcome you all. Please accept our welcome, all the members and all the guests, and enjoy the meeting all throughout. Because this is the meeting where you will find stars sitting amongst you. And we also have guests to add glitter to this room, this meeting, this environment. Like our guest is Suzanne, like our guest is Afreen, like our guest is Yash. So I welcome you all once again for having come here and participating in this meeting. Now we have a very interesting person to come on the desk. I do not know because I have used all the adjectives that I knew all throughout this Toastmasters journey. I will advise that we better ask that person to come up here and speak to us and know herself better. I will invite our president of SoBo Toastmasters, Toastmaster Jisha, as the presiding officer for today.
Thank you, Toastmaster Kasim. With this, I officially declare meeting number 180 going on. How excited are all of us?
shared is 100% true about me. Friends, how many of you have faced insults in your life at any point of time? Well, almost all of you. No problem. So, what are the emotions you feel when someone insults you? Come on, it's a question.
recently happened in Bangladesh. Regime change operation is not a newfangled ideas. It has been done across the world more than 30 times in 30 countries in last 100 years. Now question arises, who orchestrates it and why? And why I'm talking about it now? It is global deep state. It's a network of rich conglomerates, military intelligence officials, so-called NGOs, media houses, and other their associates. They work in tandem to control the world. For this, they go to any extent. They go for direct attack, as they have done in Iraq, Libya, Afghanistan. They go to attack through proxies, like they have done in Ukraine-Russia war, using Ukraine as a proxy. They go for civil unrest to change the regime and government, like they have done in Pakistan and now in Bangladesh. These people, their only purpose is to gain the maximum profit, and from their place, from their side, through any anyway, they can do that. Why I am discussing it now? Because it has recently happened in our neighborhood. They asked Bangladeshi Prime Minister to hand over Saint Martin Island for a military base. Being a nationalist leader, she refused. And they created the unrest in the country in the name of student revolution. You might have read about the newspaper magazines. And she was ousted. She was thrown out. And India, being in neighborhood, you can see Bangladesh surrounded from three sides by India. It's not for Bangladesh only, it's for us also. Whatever has happened in Bangladesh, it's highly challenging and it has deeper connotations. Whatever I'm talking about, the details we will talk about, this information has worth its weight in gold for purpose of understanding. Before move ahead, I would like to mention a quote by Henry Kissinger, a diplomat, an American diplomat. To be enemy of America is dangerous, but to be friend is better. These people have taken India on their target. Why? Let's go back. During COVID, we invented our vaccine. You know, so many countries, so many companies wanted to sell this vaccine. We took a neutral stand and imported oil from Russia. They wanted to destabilize Russia. We are moving ahead. We are growing fast. We are developing our own infrastructure, own weapon industry, and they want to sell weapons to us. They are against us. So whatever they are doing, they want a puppet government in India and rest of the world also, so that they can gain from the huge market that we have, huge skilled manpower that we have, so that they can use all those resources to further their agenda.
distinguished guests. Let me take you on a little trip down the memory lane, back to a time when we decided to throw a party that was supposed to be the gala of the year for Toastmasters in Bombay, but quickly turned into a roller coaster ride that left with all of us for stories to tell. So, about a year ago, we had this brilliant idea. Why not make our 150th meeting something absolutely epic? A black tie event, gold and black themed gala that would make James Bond jealous. And guess what? I was handed the responsibility of Gecko. Now, if you know me, you know that I wasn't excited. I was overwhelmed. My first big chance to host a gala. I was determined to make this event so posh that future Toastmasters would regret missing it. I can see some regrets right here. With the theme set, the real fun began. We had a vision, a grand entrance, a smoky photo booth, a speaker area that screams sophistication. With this vision came the dreaded shopping expedition. Auntie, bless her heart, agreed to join me in the maze known as Crawford Market. We spent a scorching afternoon there debating the merits of different repellents, trying to not get hypnotized by shiny objects. And yet we returned with decorations enough to make Mida's herself say, wow, that's a lot of gold. But having the vision and material was only half the battle. We needed a team, or as I would like to call them, the victims of my boundless enthusiasm. Luckily, in true Toastmasters fashion, we had no shortage of leaders willing to step up. Anurag, Aditya, Manish, Ashish, Mubaraka, Bhakti, Dhairya, and of course our entire EC at that point all joined the Critter Brigade. Everything was going smoothly until it wasn't. Just 5 days before the big day, life threw another curveball. My mom had an accident in Kerala and I had to rush home, leaving a glad hand hanging by a thread. But fear not, for Anita stepped in like a superhero, assuring me that everything would be fine. We created SOPs so detailed they could have been used to plan a space mission. Because after all, we know that processes are supposed to keep some things going smoothly even when people are taken away unexpectedly. But as Murphy and his infamous law would have it, our meticulous plans encountered challenges we never saw coming. The photo booth needed relocation, the grand entrance became a grand obstacle, and that was just the beginning. But here's where the true magic of Toastmaster was shown through. Our team didn't just rise to the occasion, they completely redefined it. They didn't just follow the plan, they adapted, improvised, and turned setbacks into triumphs. They turned what could have been chaos into something which surpassed our expectations. The result? A gala that was more spectacular than we could have ever imagined. Even from miles away, through the pixels of my screen, I could feel the elegance, energy, the excitement of that night. Looking back, I realized that while the gold streamers and the fancy decoration were a nice touch, it was the golden hearts of our Toastmasters that truly made the event shine. It wasn't the process that made the event a grand success. It was the people. Because in the end, it's people who bring the vision to life. And that's what truly made the event unforgettable. So, to the unsung heroes of 150th meeting, the decoratees, the problem solvers, the late night planners, and everyone who contributed to making it a night to remember. You proved that with the right team, even the most daunting task can become incredible achievement. Thank you, SoBo Toastmasters, for the opportunity to be part of this amazing event and for showing me that true leaders are worth more than their weight in gold. Over to you, Toastmasters guys.
So that was a very inspiring speech. Now I give you 30 seconds to fill up the feedback space.
suddenly got extremely thin. And then after that, I started my journey in working out and lifting weights. And since then, I have been following Dwayne Johnson. I have been seeing him in WWE and then in movies, and his body, his physique is something I have always looked up to, and I've always, like, I'm sure I can never be that, but I've always tried to follow him as much as I can. And a fun fact, him and I share the same birthday, 2nd May. So that's another thing that I love about him, and I feel that we're connected in some way. So I always look at his journey, and I always get inspired, and I really wish to meet him someday.
Thank you. And can we have someone, another volunteer or a victim? Choose. Ravanan, looking away. Please, can we have Rama on stage? So, Raman, what we're going to do is I'm going to give you 3 words, and you have to make us weave a story, including those 3 words in your speech. Okay? Is everyone clear on the rules? Yes. 3 words will be given, and he has to weave a story in those 3 words. So, the 3 words are bathroom, Dhoni, and dragon. Bathroom, Dhoni, dragon. Go first, Raman.
Just this morning, I woke up at night. Because the previous night I had watched Rahul Gandhi's speech. And I had a lot of stage time measured here for me today. And so I thought, let's have a fresh start. So I went to the bathroom. And as I was bathing, the words of Jyot Talreja started resounding in my mind. You have to be on time. You have to be on time, or else your slot is cancelled. And just like Dhoni, the last stroke of the soap on my body was enough, because as you see, I don't need a lot of soap. The moment I reached here, people asked me, how did you travel? I asked them, have you looked at me? I don't travel, I just wait for the wind. But something that will blow your mind is the spirit of Toastmasters. No matter what happens, the dragon slayer in you will always manage to win the battle for you. So whether you're in the bathroom, getting late because your slot could be cancelled, or you make it just in time at a Toastmasters club, just like Dhoni does. He hits it out of the park just at the right moment when the team needs him to. And when you are put in a tough spot by your own area director, you can call out to your Dragon Slayer and just wait. No matter who you are, no matter what you know, as long as you stay in there, you can bide your time and you can say something, you can speak something to the audience and come across as somewhat confident. Thank you so much.
Okay, let's move on to our online audience. Do we have any volunteers online? Yes. Hi, Toastmaster Shaukat. Can you hear me? Okay, so Toastmaster Shaukat, your topic is the situation. And the situation is that you are the CEO of Marlboro. And your sales are going down. So I want you to talk to your team and come up with some good techniques on how do you increase your sales. Did you hear me?
I'm trying not to bother it.
Yes, thank you. Over to you.
Well, guys, you know what facing a bit of an issue. As our Marlboro cigarette sales, which was stopped early, are declining now. Can somebody suggest why do you think this is happening? Okay, makes sense. There's a lot of competition and we should there. I think what we should do, in my mind, is to try to see how we can redirect things. I think our cigarette is worth its weight in gold. But I'm not too sure whether people think that the branding that we have is newfangled and we should go back to our original ones that we used to have. I think the old style which we had, the classic one, is the one people look for and beg for. So what I'm proposing to do is to change our branding or at least rebrand it to a classic brand where it should work better. I also do feel that if we tend to make them a little smaller, because people tend to say that things are, tobacco is not so good. So let's make them smaller size, the mini size. I'm not seeing in the market anybody becoming a mini size. We can make a smaller price and we can tell people that you can have all of it, solve your cravings. You don't need the whole cigarette. I think statistics also show that people generally have only 65% of the whole cigarette and they throw to the rest. So let's make it a value cross proposition. I think this will give us something different in the market. We redirect our sales to a different market segment, and that will bring us back to what we were before. Back to fast.
I don't know about anyone else, but I'm convinced. Yes, Angela, can we have you? That's your mom. So, Angela, your topic is, I went on a date yesterday. in a way, I'm missing out on that word, I will use the word enthralled us to keep up with the speaker. She met the speech, her speech objectives thoroughly well. She had a plan in place. She worked upon it. She took help of the team and she saw the fruition of the plan. She faced a setback, personal setback. Still, the plan was completed because a process was set. Everything well in place. One recommendation I would like to give to a speaker is, no matter she expressed that a process was followed, had she explained us the process, it would have given us an opportunity to learn how planning was done. Besides that, if she had gone further and stated that how in her absence she was in a position to control, she was in a position how to delegate, she was in a position to show way, it would have been an opportunity for us to learn. All in all, it was a well-drafted speech. The construction was in its place, perfect. Paying attention to the recommendation in future, the speaker will come up on the desk with much more effective speeches. She is a speaker of that caliber. I wish her all the well for her next speech delivery. Over to you, Dr.
Now I'll begin with the second part of my report, that is to call the tag team on stage. And I will begin by calling Toastmaster back on stage for the tag team. finish of the role also, like these are my 3 duties during the word and phrase of the day, good words, good grammar, not so good grammar. And same thing for your report, it could have been better structured, where you first bring out your first responsibility, that is people who've used the word of the day and the phrase of the day, applaud to them. Then you come to the second part, these are the people who've used good grammar, good usage of grammar, bring all of those idioms, phrases, words in it. And the third could have been, again, these were not the people, but these were the not so good usage of grammar. Say what could have been the better usage, but make sure to not name those speakers. That's it. But apart from that, a great report from your side as well. And now the very last part, where I'll give my report on the overall meeting that I observed today. I believe SoBo Toastmasters also believes to start at 11 a.m. but we were 2 minutes late because of some logistical and technical issue. This can be taken care by a club that is renowned. Second thing is that I have a smaller recommendation is guest intros were taken in the presiding officer's address. Maybe we can have lesser guest intros but have it in the TMoD session. Presiding officer's address is essentially to motivate or inspire the crowd and can be used in that way. Even by that the president also gets some stage time to motivate and inspire the crowd or the audience over here. The third thing is that I have is we have a rule of not bringing out sex, religion and politics. A remark here and there were on politics, so maybe we can avoid those political remarks on the stage over here as per Toastmasters International guidelines. The next one, again, it's a very small recommendation, but I already mentioned previously that coordination could have been better in terms of understanding the agenda of the meeting. So we have a smooth flow, unlike somebody just realized, oh, it's my time to speak suddenly. That's it. And yeah, again, the one I said that timer can show the cards till the time limit changes. We also had, like, I would really like to applaud Toastmaster Hamza over here for interrupting in between and helping the technical team work out. So great one on that. I would like to. The last thing is I really loved welcoming all the guests. So a really great thing for that one. Now that's it from my side. Thank you so much for listening so much.
So where are you all these days?
Mumbai Toastmasters.
Thank you, Toastmaster Harsh, for such a detailed evaluation. Now it is time for the most important session of the meeting, which is worth its weight in gold. Break. We have 10 minutes for the break. And during the break, you
sit as one unit. Do not leave any spaces.
The wind has done that.
Gone with the wind. Alright. With me?
No, God no.
Alright, what does humor mean to you? Ma'am, what does humor mean to you?
Something funny.
Something funny. Kasim.
Pleasantness.
Pleasant. Ma'am. Funny.
Can I answer?
Say that? No. Let's enjoyment. Alright. Refresh your mood. Refreshes you? Yes. Vishwanath?
Humor has two words in it. One is a Hindi word that is hum, and an English word are. So when we join together and enjoy ourselves, that is humor.
And for Diwali, you can call it Hamar. You are laugh. Creating a laugh. Okay, we'll give Alicia a chance.
Coping mechanism.
Coping mechanism. Yes, absolutely. If you're chatting. Okay, let's go one notch above and define sense of humor. How many of you think you do not have a good sense of humor? 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, Hamza's accurate.
Okay, why do you think you do not have a good sense of humor? Okay, like, very quick.
Jokes don't lie.
Jokes don't land.
Because when I laugh, I laugh about
You laugh. Hamza, why do you think you don't have a sense of humor?
No one laughs.
Because he is the joke.
People laugh at me.
Not with me. Okay, let's debunk a myth very quickly. Your sense of humor is not your ability to crack a joke. Now, how many of you enjoy stand-up comedy or humor in general? Everyone. That is sense of humor. Sense of humor is your ability to be receptive, to sense what funny is to appreciate a joke. That is your sense of humor. Now, that is a baseline wherein you start and even can think of being funny. Right? That's the baseline. If you have a sense of humor. Now, what can you say that makes your sense of humor well developed, or you have wide range of spectrum that you can appreciate humor in? Let's say dark humor, deadpan humor, slapstick humor, puns, self-defeat, tons of forms of humor. Right? If you can appreciate all forms, I'm not saying you have to laugh at each and every form of humor. Some of you, like most Toastmasters, do not like jokes on politics, let's say, at least in the Toastmaster setting. But at least can you try and think about the intent of the comedian? That is what will help come up with jokes, or at least try and understand where the comedian is coming from. You need not enjoy all forms of comedy or humor, but you need to be able to go back or maybe go down a level, go up a level, and try and think of the intent. Why such a joke was funny? Maybe you did not laugh, but 10 others laughed. They found something funny in that. Trying and decoding the intent behind a joke. That is what is the baseline of comedy or humor, and that is how it start or even think of being funny. Right? So let's start with something. This entire session is going to be anti-humor. Why? Because I'm going to get into the foundations of why something is funny. I'm going to break things down of why something is funny. That itself, when you explain a joke or explain why a joke is funny, that in itself becomes unfunny. But that is the need of PR, because once you get into the process of joke writing is when you will understand how do you get or land those jokes within a particular speech. Right? Let's start with the absolute foundations. For which, what is the most basic thing? If I have to start teaching you rules of comedy, the most basic thing.
speaks the best in the British or the American accent.
It is for recognition.
Recognition. It's the same thing. For the role player. Kind of. Should not take a jab at Kasim like that. Yeah, just say the entire punchline. That is only how it will sound. In Indian Toastmasters Club, the award is not for the best speaker. It is
It's not for the best speaker, it's the one who's best friends with the tribe.
Yes. Hamza, anything comes to mind? Pick me for a table topic. Where's your punchline?
Yes, sir. And SoBo is for people who come on time, who wake up at 11 a.m. Who reach very on time.
The award is not for the best speaker, but it is for the one who dares to speak.
That's more inspirational.
That's inspiration.
You had something?
Like me?
Anyone else wants to take a guess?
The award is not for the one. Award is not for the best speaker, but for the one who is the best, who does the best emotional melodrama on stage.
Award should be for the person who doesn't yawn.
Who is?
Who doesn't yawn?
Jishan. Nothing.
So it's not for the best speaker because best gives us only electricity and transport. There are others in it.
Alright, so this was just a creative exercise, so just to get your minds running a little bit, jogging a little bit, so that you can come up with something creative. Basically, these rules. Now again, there is no right answer to it, or maybe this is funnier or that is funnier. But one thing I could take from, and maybe all of us could make a comedic set out of it, is what Hamza said. This for the one who comes on time, right? Indian Standard Time is often associated with people coming late to meetings, meetings starting late, people arriving late, things not running as per agenda. No offense to it. Right? So again, that's something that is relatable to everyone, being late or running late, etc., etc. So that is your premise. That is a plot that you can start building on. And that is something that will give you more jokes, like in life, etc. Let's try one more. And for the like, you can it is going to be different for men and women. My wife said she will get ready in 5 minutes and dash. That is the punchline. Write a punchline to this. My wife said she will get ready in 5 minutes and dash. And for the women, you can write about your boyfriends or your husbands.
So I'm waiting for last 1 hour for that 5 minutes. For those 5 minutes.
Speak of inspiration from Maggie.
Sorry?
Speak of inspiration from Maggie.
Maggie?
Maggie, Maggie.
Okay, Maggie. Got it. Nice.
What is the women also for same?
Yeah, women can write about their boyfriends and husbands.
So my husband told me, or my boyfriend told me he's getting ready in 5 minutes.
Or both of them told you.
My wife told me she'll be ready in 5 minutes, and we had brunch at 5 p.m.
My wife told me that she'll be ready in 5 minutes, but I have
My wife told me she'll be ready in 5 minutes because she knows I was ready.
Nice one. That's it.
My wife said she will be ready in 5 minutes to bash me.
Lovely cousin. Lovely.
My boyfriend said he'll be ready in 5 minutes, and he spent 4 minutes sleeping on it.
So my girlfriend told me she'll be ready in 5 minutes, and I already started preparing a CRC evaluation in my mind.
Been silent. Any more?
My wife said she'll be ready in 5 minutes and I'm late.
That's
Alright. So this is how you try and come up with a joke wherein you give them something of fun. Okay. So if I were debating with someone and I don't think that person has IQ enough that he can debate with me, I can say something like, I'd rather argue with a needle because at least the needle has a point. Herein I am comparing the literal point of a needle to a point that my counterpart needs to make in an argument. The point in an argument with compared with the actual literal point of a needle. Or something else like there was a murder at the cement factory. There was a lot of concrete evidence. Then we found out that the murderer was a cat. We had to start from scratch. So again, comparing the scratch of a cat with actually starting your task from the beginning, that is how you are using your punch. What is I then? What is I stand for? Irony. I almost said it. Now irony is something that is supposed to go a certain way, but in itself it's a little contradictory or a little hypocritical. For example, if I say Anu Malik judge's talent, it's ironic. Right? Tell me if this is ironic or not. Rahul Gandhi once said, this morning I woke up at night. Is this irony? Is it? No, it's just stupid. Any other examples of irony that come to mind?
Then I'm sorry, I will.
Okay, you go first.
I literally the same thing. And he believed him. That's the idea.
Ramadan giving a serious talk.
Correct. Okay, so anything that, okay, when the R counter report was done, it was revealed that the maximum number of fillers were used by the R counter. Or the timer report lasted for 8 minutes. Something like that. Or the Grammarly started his report with saying he did not knew. Ironic. E. Expressive.
I just say, expectation.
Example.
Only then. Seriously, only then.
This E.
Yeah.
So let's plan.
Yeah.
Well,
Euphemism. No.
enthusiasm.
No.
Enthralling.
Entertaining.
You guys have your words of the day for the next few meetings now.
Emotions.
Okay, this is really the letters are on.
It is unbelievable.
Energy.
Exaggeration.
That's great.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly. Now, when as a listener you try and see the comedian attempt, take a very normal, sober point terms of cracking self-deprecating jokes on yourself in front of an audience also makes you come across very confident. Let's go to the final form of, and final easy form of cracking jokes is the rule of triads. How many of you know the rule of three or the power of three? All of us are fairly okay. No, if not, one is two less, two is not enough, but three is just perfect. That is how psychologically our minds are designed to remember things. If you see, it is also an amazing marketing strategy that companies use to ingrain some kind of an idea in your mind. Now, then, forever. Taller, stronger, sharper. You tend to remember these, and even if you see any kind of speech, forget a humorous speech. A 5 to 7 minute speech generally is three incidents, right? Beginning, body, and ending has it from your own life. You follow the same theme from your school life, college life, and work life, or you explain three very different incidents with a common message of sorts, right? Again, something that is optimally designed for you to create some material or substance out of it, powerful. So in this kind of joke, in this kind of constraint, the first two elements are very normal, are very expected by the audience. The third one is when you blow it out of the park. Because again, that is supposed to divert or support the audience's expectations. Clear? Okay, let me give you the first two. You come up with the third one. Three things are impossible to predict: your destiny, the weather, and dash. Three things are impossible to predict: your destiny, the weather, and dash. Take some time to write the punchline. Mood of your wife. Mood of your wife.
Wealth, weather, and woman.
Sorry?
Wealth, weather, and woman.
Nice. That's alliteration also. Anyone else?
Who will back out of the
That's a good one. The VP is paid. Anyone else? Think. That's it.
Only wife comes to my mind.
Any non-wife rules? Sorry?
Taxation rules.
Taxation. So you can say Nirmala Sitaraman.
I was avoiding the point.
Olivia? Okay. Let's do something else. Only three things can bring Kasim to a Toastmasters meeting. Dash, dash, and dash. Now you use your entire creative liberty. Three things.
Sex, religion, and politics.
Formal shoes, formal shoes, formal shoes.
He's not wearing them today.
Not very.
Formal shoes, formal shirt, formal tie. Like